Got some things all prepared and whatnot, all late and whatnot. You know? All right. What is up, people? What is up? What is up? What's up, Chip? Looking in? Nice, nice. Just gonna wait a few people to come in today. You know what I mean? So, I do this every week, once a week or whatever. Just talk about movies, talk about ideas, talk about things that inspired us, all that good stuff. Please chime in. Say what like to hear about you, about what you like, what you're into. If you're in the arts, you're in the show business, what do you do? What do you like to do? What do you want to see? Go ahead. I'm not the only one watching. Someone else is going to actually, not me answer, someone else is going to ask you. Let's congregate. Let's talk. See what the deal is. So, first things first. Let me have my little nightly beverage. Ooh. And so, the first thing I want to talk about, actually, you know what? Oh, before I even get to that, I want to say thank you for all who came into my page this week. I normally have a nice amount of people always asking, to join your page and everything else. Now, I don't accept everybody, but the ones that do, I'm really, really happy that you guys reached out, want to follow my production, follow what I do, hear what I say, care what I say. Thank you for that. Or what we do with my movie and upcoming movies that we are planning to do. But that we are going to plan to do more movies. So it's not just these, although this is the biggest one, but we have others that we're going to do probably starting next year. So do keep a lookout for that. I'm looking for people. And presently, I am looking for a character called Kayla Kovizian, who's right there. And I'm looking for her. So I'm still looking out. I'm reaching out to people, reaching out to other actresses who maybe I feel that fits it really, really well. So those out there that have seen me kind of reach out to you, I know sometimes you're busy or you're not sure this is real or whatever. Trust me, it's definitely real. Those who actually come in are coming in at a good time because we have a distribution deal. We got followers, so you're kind of coming in right when the train is actually starting to really kind of pick up its pace. So it's a good thing for us. So we're very, very blessed on that. So anyone out there that thinks they want to try it, they want to interview for it, please let me know. Somebody that wants to interview for it, then hey, let me know. Let me know who they are. I love to hear from you guys, and I love to explain what's going on and what we have planned, because I can't explain everything, and what we have planned is going to be really, really cool. We're still looking for sponsors and things like that. So definitely, I'm always on the hunt for the next person for us to be, for them to be involved with us, to be with us. So hey everybody, how you doing? Tammy, Higher Learning. Yes, that is a very good movie, by the way. That inspired me. That's a good one. That's a classic out there. Anyone who hasn't seen it, check it out. So, movies that inspired you. I like that. Good evening, brother. What's up, Michael? What's up, man? I had a hell of a day. I think 2 year relationship. Oh, okay. Oh, well, rigor, things happen. But now, for movies that inspired you, hey, you know what? You keep those movies close to your heart, because those are the movies that actually kickstart your engine for you to be in show business, whatever you're doing in it. For me, I was young. I liked the excitement. I wasn't big on the drama. I like dramas and things like that. I really did. I love them to death, really. But I always liked anything that kind of kept my interest, that was exciting. I didn't like things that just dragged out. So I'm always into, like, back in the days, I was into Terminator. I was into Star Wars, obviously, like everybody else was. Indiana Jones. I was into the spectacle, because to me, the spectacle was a challenge itself. Like, I always knew that doing something big, doing something exciting, actually took a lot of work. It took a lot of prep, and it's something that not everybody can do. So I'm looking at that like, you know what? That's challenging. That's fun. I want to be involved with that. So when I got older, I started getting myself into those type of deals. Starting to get into environments, start getting into productions, start to make my own things. It's exciting. It's fun to do. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking for. Now, I love my dramas. But even dramas could be exciting. So I just like things drawn out. So that's my thing. So like I said, I love my Terminators and all those things. That really, really inspired me, And the latest one that was my classic now, personally for myself, is Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings is long, but think about it. Like, if you made that, it's still exciting. It's a whole new world, And then you get those quick hits, like today, you have You have movies like was it John Wick, for example? Those are like boom. Those are exciting because just the choreography itself, the idea is simple and the choreography is great. Cinematography is wonderful, and just the pace, they just know how to pace the movie. And that's the key, man. That's the key to really a lot of good films is this pace, and I love those movies. I'm looking at Anthony over here. He's saying Spirited Ways, Howl's Moving Castle. I'm not sure what that is, so maybe throw the link in there. I'm not really sure of it. And of course, Star Wars, of course. Who cannot like Star Wars, yo? Although I did meet a few people in the past, man, that never saw Star Wars. I'm like, yo, are you human? Like, they still make you? Like, yo, so it's crazy, that there's certain movies, there's certain things that people have never seen before. And I guess everyone can't see everything. I get it. But it's like meeting somebody who that doesn't know how to tie their shoe. You're like, really? You don't know how to tie your shoe? So I'm like, really? Yo, you never saw Star Wars? Word. So, I'm the same way. I look at them like, like two heads. But anyway, that's just me. That's just me. But anyway, yeah, okay. So I'm going to go back to movies that inspired me and why they inspired me and how their inspiration kind of this bleeds into my own creation of this. Like first of all, spectacles. My thing about a spectacle, my thing is that when I was in high school, right, I went to this class called Movie Magic. And I always remember in Movie Magic, we learned the differences and the impetus of like Warner Brothers and Disney, like where they came from, like who started what. And the premise for each one was this. They were always competing years ago, back in like the 50s and things like that, in the 60s. They're really starting to jump off, Disney started having their cartoons start looking really, really lifelike, and then Walt Disney had Looney Tunes. Warner Brothers had Looney Tunes, and they just wanted to be like out of there, like just really something different. And they didn't want to be too truthful. They didn't want to be grounded. They wanted to be like just fantasy. And when I was listening to them, even in high school, I always got drawn. You figure I'd be drawn to like Disney, right? But to me, movie making, storytelling, being a writer, the whole point of you doing a lot of that is it's not just, of course, expressing what's inside you, it's expressing your art. But for me, I like stories that bring me to somewhere else. I want to learn. I want to see new things. I want to learn new people. I want to meet new people. I want people that don't have no idea who they are. I want to meet people that I don't normally meet, in real life. That's the whole thing about movie making to me. So even when I was in the class, I love Looney Tunes more than Warner Brothers. Warner Disney. I keep switching these guys around. But anyway, because at least Looney Tunes brought you into a new world. It's a medium that allows you, that gives you the power to go anywhere, to go anywhere you want, to go to any place, and just to get the craziest shit. And it can happen. You can see it. While Disney was trying to replicate reality. And I'm like, well, just film somebody then and put a cartoon skin on them. It's like one of those things, And it's like, yo, I'm like, that's why when I looked at Looney Tunes, I was such a big fan because they said, what's the point of having the art form, right? Having just the gift of being able to draw something, paint something, and being able to go somewhere else that doesn't exist. Why would I try to replicate reality when we have this gift? And that's how I felt. And that's how I feel now with everything I do. I don't like stories myself where I can see my friends or my aunt on screen. That's not exciting to me. That's really, I could just go to my aunt, or I could just go to my friend's house, or, like, what's the point to me to go to the theater where I see everything every day? Like, I'm not paying money to see my friends. I'm not paying money to see my family. I'm paying money to meet new people, to see new environments, to experience a whole new ecosystem if it's available. That's exciting to me. And that's why that rubs off in everything I do. So yes, movies that inspire me, are very important. It should be very important to you. And don't lose those movies in your head. Like every time you're doing something, no matter how old you get, actors out there, actresses out there, you're going for a role, you always keep what that movie inspires you. You know what I mean? That keeps the freaking gas pumping through your veins. You know what I mean? So just don't ever forget that, you know? All right, so I'm looking at the people's responses here, which is really cool. I see Tammy. I feel that way towards people who never seen A Wonderful Life. Well, A Wonderful Life, it's a lot of reality, but yes, that's a very, very good movie. Now, you do have exceptions. You know what I mean? Because that's just a different film. I got Donnie Martinez. What's up, Donnie? You are saying movies and TVs that inspire me, like Dracula, Bela Lugosi, classic, first of its kind. Night Gallery, I like that. Twilight Zone, freaking fan, loved it, loved that shit to death. One of the best stories ever. I don't care what it is, movies, whatever. Twilight Zone is a freaking genius. I mean, it's just the way it was filmed. You know, the stories it told. I mean, it was just, it's timeless. I mean, you can't plan that. I mean, you can't think like, yo, I'm gonna make a timeless shit. All you can do is make the best shit you can possibly make, and then the shit just happens. That is just shit just happened. You know what I mean? When you look at that, you're like, yeah, that shit just happened. Like, it wasn't planned. You know what I mean? I like that. Yeah. Twilight Zone. Christopher Reeve, one of my best actors. Love him to death. I miss that guy. Yo, Chris, much love, yo. My Superman. I don't care anybody say that's my Superman. You know what I mean? I grew up with that. Heath Ledger. Last film with Christopher Plummer. I'm not sure about that. I'm not. I give him, you know, of course, Dark Knight, things like that. I even give him a movie, an abstract film that he did, bro. What was called the something Feather. You can look it up. I probably made like $20 in the theater, but it was this huge epic that was very boring. But his acting, just first of all, it was an epic film, right? With a very boring storyline, kind of a dumb storyline. But his acting, going through different levels of his life, you know, that was amazing. To me, that movie, man, his acting was on point. Although the movie was bad, but you want some good acting from Heath, that's one of them. And of course, Brokeback, freaking classic. That's an amazing feat of acting. Love it. Christopher Plummer, yep. And top-notch directors who produce movies inspired. Yeah, I mean, listen, directors can inspire you too. You know, obviously, you know, I'm a director, so, you know, of course, directors inspire me, so I'm a little geeky with that. But all in all, the one thing that really, really gets me out of anything, you know, Hammer films, yes, Chip, yes. You know what really gets me? Actors out there, listen up, yo. This what gets me a freaking hard on. Good, solid acting. I mean, good performances. You know, when it's just thick in dialogue, thick in character, where you can tell the actor has to go into a place they probably have not been in before. And they're still searching, they're still trying to fight, and they're just holding on, and it's actually weighing him down. Like, if you see an acting, how can I say? Like, it's weighing the actor down, just going through the process of doing this performance. Like, that is just, whoa. Good example, Glengarry Glen Ross. That, for acting, there's movies out there where it's just an actor's film. Like, if you just love performances and you want to see a fucking solid performance, Glengarry Glen Ross, classic. Everyone knows it. Don't be in movies if you've never seen Glengarry Glen Ross. Until you see that, then you can say, okay, I'm in show business now. Those are one of those films you have to watch. Another good, thick acting. Oh, man, 12 Angry Men. Both of them. The one in the 60s and the one that was made in the 80s, I think. I think it was the one that was made in the 80s, right? Both of those films, 12 Angry Men. See, classics like that, I can watch anytime because it's just thick in character. You could tell those actors probably never really, there's a few actors in there you can tell it was just weighing them down just to perform. And that to me was just exciting. I could feel it. Every time I look at it, I just get excited. Like, yo, 12 Angry freaking Men. Another, you want to go with classics? Now, listen, we got some good movies now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm going back in time, a time machine and shit. But I tell you what, there is one movie that you really don't get much love at all from, and it's a fucking classic to me. And that is, I'm about to build it up and I forget the freaking name. Man, the one with Peter O'Toole was made in 1962. And in fact, you know what? You guys are just going to have to wait just a second because um, if you know it, go ahead and type it. And it's called oh man, hold on, Peter O'Toole, the water movie. First of all, when I saw this movie, right? This before and now, listen. When I was young, Peter O'Toole was old, and I didn't really care about Peter O'Toole too much. I know he was a good actor and everything else, but he was like before my time, so I didn't pay him much mind. But then one day, I saw a movie called The Lion in Winter. Remember that movie, The Lion in Winter. It even had, I'll tell you right now, The Lion in Winter actually had a young Anthony Hopkins in this. He looked the same too. It was crazy. It's like, bro, did you ever were we ever young? He did the same way he did in Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, yo, this is like 20 years before. Like, anyway, you should check it out. And he looks like Anthony Hopkins. But that movie, to me, if you don't know about Peter O'Toole, he's dead and gone now. He's the one that did Lawrence of Arabia and all that. And I'm like, yo, what was the big deal about this guy, When I saw The Lion in Winter one evening, it was on. I said, let me check it. I just want to check it out. I was in the mood. Once Peter O'Toole came on the screen, man, yo, it was like, yo, I'm late in the game. Yo, this guy's a fucking genius. His presence is one of those rare presence in any actor has ever graced the screen. There's only a few actors that would just come on the screen, don't have to say a word, and they just shout. I mean, their aura just shouts out. It just grabs you and pulls you in. They don't have to do anything. That's a gift. You can't even teach that. Either you have it or you don't. Peter O'Toole had that. Like, just look at the older film. Just check him out for like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And when he introduced how they introduced him in Lion in Winter, he didn't come into the scene like quiet. He came in like a bull, boastful. And I was like, man, this is the man. I see why people at that time really looked up to him. So that's old school stuff. Nowadays, you got your classic, you got Denzel, of course, you got, of course, Anthony Hopkins is still doing this thing. You got to give much love to Robert Downey Jr. That's one cat that doesn't get the love that he needs. He's one of the greatest actors we have ever had. He could do so many things. He's so versatile. He doesn't get the credit that he should just because of his past discretions. Now, of course, everyone knows him now as Iron Man, but that's late in the game, man. That's way down the line. You got to see something he did before. I mean, Chaplin, for Christ's sake. I mean, if you want to see some range, see him in Chaplin. I think the other one was Henry VIII. Well, he was okay with that. I think with I forget his name, but yeah, there was a few of those. So those films I'm talking about really kind of inspired me. You know what I mean? And nowadays, now you have a guy named Jordan Peele. Hey, Tammy, I have to agree with you on that. Jordan Peele is going to be one of those classic directors now. Now, I have to wait. I gotta wait. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I like his stuff now because, like anything else, you never had a shot, so your tank is full. You got all these ideas. You full. You just can't wait. If someone gives you opportunity, throw it out there. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna release this shit. It's like, it's like having to pee and shit. They just can't wait to freaking let loose. You know what I'm saying? And when you let loose, boy, you're gonna make an impact. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm looking at the first two movies he made. Obviously great. Us, the other one. Now he made that show Twilight Zone that's on now, right? The first 3 episodes were good to me. I said, I'm feeling it. I see where he's going. You know what I mean? And then I was watching the next 3, and I was like, the fuck, what the hell just happened? Like, what? Why? So I was like, what's going on? So to me, I have to first personally see myself, like, yo, All right, Jordan. So you 3 for 3. You're like 500 right now. I have to see a little more. Now it's now for TV. Now movies, you're already pretty much you're 2-0, right? For me, 2-0. I want to see how much gas you have in the tank, because I can tell you a director who was a man back in the day and did classic films, and eventually he just ran out. Like, you don't know what happened. Like, yo, why are you just starting to like just fall apart? That's Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma made classics, man. He made Scarface. You know, I mean, he made oh god. Okay, let's just drop some stuff. That's a good example, man. You know, Brian De Palma, yo. I just can't think of all of them right now. I'm just bad with that at times. You know what I mean? Come on, Brian. All right. So Brian De Palma made a whole bunch of films. I mean, he made Body Double. That was really good. He made The Untouchables, yeah. The Untouchables, bro. I mean, that's classic. I mean, you know what I mean? And then Dressed to a Kill. Jeez. I mean, he was on top of the world. And then, of course, Scarface. I mean, damn. Now he can't buy a movie. You know what I mean? He can't buy a movie. He's horrible. Once he made, it started when he made the movie with, oh, shoot. What's it called? What is it called? Actually, after Carlito's Way. No, actually, after Mission Impossible. And in Mission Impossible 1 was cool. It wasn't great. It was cool. It wasn't great. When he made Snake Eyes with, with our boy Nicolas Cage, everything started to go. He just ran out, man. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people just run out. The tank just empties out. So I'm going to wait a little while for Jordan Peele. Like his stuff right now. I'm loving it, feeling it. Give me a couple more films, yo. Let me see how much you have in the tank. You know, let's see if that tank is eternal. That's what I want to see. There's a few directors out there, you know, a few writers and directors out there whose tank is eternal. I can tell you 2 right now. Spielberg, James Cameron. Those guys, a rare breed, bro. Rare breed. Anton Fuqua. Love him. Know who he is? Look him up. The live movies you liked. Anton Fuqua. Very good. Did Training Day. It's one of the most famous ones, but he did a bunch of others. He's doing more now. Did some documentaries. Did the Ali documentary this past year. So you got people, you know, who've been around for a while and still got a lot in the tank. Peter Jackson. Still got a lot in the tank, man. This guy's been around for a minute. You know? Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, King Kong. Best King Kong I've ever seen in my life. Hands down. The new one was nice. New one was fire, yo. I give that. The new one was fire. That was nice. But it's like one of those things where if you want classic King Kong, you just want an epic, that's where you go. Peter Jackson's King Kong. 3 hours of freaking madness. Peace. So that's what you want to check out. And those movies are few and far between nowadays. And so, you know, I gravitate to those right away whenever I can. So those movies inspire me and inspires what I do right now, you know. Hey, you know what? Been on this for a kick for a little while. How long have I been on this? Okay, so I've been talking about this bad boy for about 24 minutes, right? That's good. Good, we talked about this for a while. But let's check this out. Storytellers out there, actors, writers, directors, producers, you guys, you know, indie guys like ourselves. Creating a story. That's the second thing I want to talk about. Creating a story. Let's stop regurgitating old stories, old storylines. Let's stop that. We got big brains. You know what I mean? We got a lot of imaginations. Let's stop cheating and going for literary classics. You know, movie marvels or movie classics, and just taking them and twisting them around and shit, and then call it our own. Every time I see that, you know, in the high level, even the low level, I'm like, I'm sorry, yo. I gotta be true. This is me. That's a cop out. I'm like, you're not creative at all. Anyone can do that. Like, you're not even creative at all. You know, when people like, I don't know, they get a movie You need to do it over. Now, larger studios, I can see that. I hate it. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. But I understand they got stockholders. They want a baked-in audience. They want a guaranteed amount of people are going to see it, and everything after that is butter for them. I understand the business part of it. It kind of hurts our industry, hurts us as performers and storytellers and creators at times, because you start to have people get used to seeing that or want to see it again because that's what they see. People like ourselves who are making original stories, original storylines that gives you new actors, new heroes, new villains, a new ecosystem, a whole new storyline, and something that just brings you to a different direction, with familiar qualities, that really kind of pulls you in, that I hope that mine does when you guys look at it, or those indie. Those are the ones that really I gravitate to, you know what I mean? And that's why I think that as creators now, with all of the resources that you have, hell, that we have now, as opposed to we did back in the days, there is no reason that anyone should be looking at a movie and doing the shit over. Look, some people do some really cool things with new Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars fan movies, right? I get it. You're a fan. You like it. You want your take on it. Okay. But don't put a lot of money into it. I've seen some really good ideas, but you can't do anything with it. Like, bro, you can't do anything with it. They're not going to give you the license. The most you can do, the most you're going to do, right, is pretty much, I just got a call and stuff like that. I lost my train of thought for a minute. Oh, the most you can do is maybe get a job with them if you're looking for that. But you can't do nothing with it. I've seen movies that people put like a good meal, maybe underneath a meal, into like a fan movie of Star Wars or something like that. And I look at it like, okay, yo, it's nice, yo, it's a really good idea. That's awesome. I get it. I get it. But to me, I'm like, either you got so much money, you just don't care. You just need to spend the shit. So you're going to spend the shit this way. Or you really don't have any imagination. You know what I mean? Like, your imagination is just limited. And us guys, us filmmakers who just want to make something new, you know what I mean? Make something original, big or small. Story has, all in all, the story is a story. There's no hype. It's just a story. It's an original story. It gives you familiar, familiar nuggets, that you can grab onto, you're familiar with, but everything else is original. That's what makes a really, really good story. You want to go so far out, but you want something that people could be familiar with, because then they will sit and listen to what you have to say, just a little more, just a little more. But you have to at least do your best to try something new. We're all looking for something new. If you're a director, you're a filmmaker, you're a financier, somebody that's going to make something happen in the show business, please, man, go out there. Sit in the house or whatever. Think about an idea you always wanted to see and do it. Just do it, So I'm just saying, that's what I'm trying to do with my World of Worlds. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to make something? You should. Because this is what happens. If you don't make new stuff, and I understand sometimes people say, well, people don't know what it is. Well, you know why? A lot of times to me, either they're not ready for it. I'm going to play devil's advocate on both sides real quick. Either they don't understand it, or it's just not any good. Like the story is just terrible, or it's whack, or it's weak, or whatever. It could be that. It could be both. I'm not going to play devil's advocate both ways. You know what I'm saying? You just have to worry about believing in what you're doing. Get out there, get what you have to get, actors, equipment, time, place, get it done. Get your post guys done, get your edit done, get your music done, get your effects done if your movie requires it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Be smart about it. Be a businesswoman. Be a businessman. Think about what you want to do. Don't go over your skis. I'm not going over my skis. It's expensive. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Do this stuff. It's not fucking cheap, bro. But don't write something you can't do. the next week. I always say that. Don't write anything if you're creating this from scratch, you know? Directors, producers, you guys, writers. Don't write anything, especially if you're planning to film, that you can't do next week or you can't do in 2 weeks. Like, what's the point? Like, don't do, you have pure power. You have pure, it's yours. You can do what you want to do whenever you want to do it, and you can twist it the way you want to. Especially if you write it and no one's heard of it yet, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You know where you want to go later or whatever, but you want at least the idea to have a life, to be somewhere. So even if you don't have the money, you got a little bit of whatever, then twist that shit just enough that you can get your actors, you can get your director if you're not directing yourself, you can get a writer maybe if you want to help write it a little better, whatever it is, you know what I mean? But get it done. Nowadays, if we can make movies off a fucking phone, you can make a film anytime you want. It's just one major thing you need. I've said this a million times, is energy and your health. But energy. You got to have energy. And really two things. Energy, this is me now. Listen, two things you need. To me, if you don't have these two things, it's going to be really hard for you to complete a movie. You need energy, and you need to be bullheaded at times. A balanced bullhead. That's what you need. Not just bullhead, you need a balanced bullhead. You still got a little bit there you can listen. Let me give you advice. Take what you can. The reason I say you got to be bullheaded, because it's always going to be somebody doubting you. It's always going to someone say something to put you down. Either don't like what you do, you're not smart enough, whatever. Or you're not, the story's not tight enough, whatever it is. You're always going to have that. And you cannot let anyone discourage you because they haven't seen everything you've done. You know why they say that? Because their mind doesn't go that far. It doesn't work that way. Yours do. You got to have energy and you got to be bullheaded. Because the only way you're going to get through it. You know how hard it was for me to do what I do now, just to do this? I was learning, listen, to get to, to do what I was doing and everything, I was actually learning and I was going. I was kind of just, just flying by the edge of my seat half the time. But I know what I wanted. I know what I had to do. I just never did it this way before, but I worked it out, and then you do your best and you put it out there. So that's why when you watch my stuff, you start seeing things get better and better and better and better, because not just myself learning like technical parts of it that need to get better, but also the actors and all that are learning their characters better. The post guys are learning the music better, understanding the world better. So the music team is a little more. The effects become a little more intricate. They start becoming a little more have a little more, character to every episode, because now that person is understanding it more. All that stuff is just process. So it's one of those things. But you always, you got to hold on to what inspires you. Number one, if you're a curator, you're an actor, you go out there and you give it all you got. It sounds corny, but this is what you have to say. All right, now, actors, you have to say this. Fuck you. Remember that. Actors out there, this is what you have to say to yourself when you do roles. Fuck you. You know why you're saying that? Because you're going to give it everything you got, and there's no restraints. You're jumping right off the cliff. You're saying how you're going to say it. The feelings are pouring out. You're getting into a place that nobody knows where that is. You go into a place that you're not scared of. And if you are scared because there's something there, you look at that and you say, fuck you, and you walk right through it, and the performance comes out. That's what makes a great performer of any time, because you don't care. You're going to do what you're going to do, and those who appreciate it will appreciate it. Those who don't. And you're going to need those that don't. You know why? Because you can't appreciate the good without the bad. So you want some of those haters. And those people that hate you, you know what? I look at them like, yo, thanks for hating me, because you must care enough about me to actually give me some thought. That's how I look at it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is internal. You know what I'm saying? All this is internal. It's an internal armor that you have to build in yourself to continue. That's how I look at it. You have to build this. It's like muscle. You have to build it. That's why I say, filmmakers, writers, directors, I don't care how big you are or whatever. First thing you have to do is, like I said, have energy, keep your health up, and be bullheaded and do what you have to do and fuck everybody else. Actors, when you go for a role, no restraints, no limits. If people don't like it, fuck you. There's something in front of you that wants you to do it, they don't like it, well, fuck you. I'm going to do it because I'm going to let everything out. You're doing what you're supposed to do. The director, writer wants you to do a certain way. They want you to get to this place. It's cool. This is an internal part of you. By saying if you have any type of doubt, those self-doubts start coming in. You know, the way you speak it, maybe the way you walk it, you know, whatever it is, you know. If you get to that place of doubt, that's when you have to go out and say, fuck you. I'm going to do whatever. I'm just going to let it out. If you don't like it, fuck you if you don't like it. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it, boom, and you're going to watch it. That's what really good actors do because they let it all hang out. They really don't care. This is what I did. I'm going to do it. You asked me to do this. I'm going to give it 110% of what you're asking me to do. You want me to say something? I'm going to say exactly what you want me to say it, and I'm going to put a little more into it and work this shit out. One thing I love about actors, I love to hear actors say, I can make anything work. That I love. I think every director, they love to hear that. You know why? Because it means you're understanding that you have a job to do, but you also are saying you're so confident that you're so badass that it doesn't matter what I say, I'm going to make it work. So you can make me say what you want me to say. I'm not going to worry about changing it, but I'm going to make that shit work. There's one thing I heard on the movie special right on CNN recently that I really liked, and it was I'm bad with names at times, but one of the directors, right, that was doing Jerry Maguire. And at the end of Jerry Maguire, you know, when he goes to, you know, what's the face, he comes in, he's crying, and, you know, the famous line, "You complete me." Well, when they were filming that, they were saying that the writer was like, you know what, I'm really not sure about this line. It looks a little corny. You know, he was waking up every day, he felt a little different about that line, just that one line, you know? And one thing I love that he said that Tom came to him, because he told Tom, I'm not sure about this. I think it's a little corny. Tom said, let me get a shot at it. If you don't like it, you just cut out, but let me get a crack at it. Because it's challenging to him. See, it's not a challenge when you can read something. Now, of course, everyone likes to read really good stuff, but it's a challenge when you read something, it's not that tight, but when you look at it, you go, you know what? I can still make this shit work. You know why? Because only I can say it. That's what makes it, it's too easy for you to, like, you know, read literary classics, literary geniuses. Anyone can say it, everyone sounds good. You know what I mean? But when you have something that takes a certain type of massage to a certain kind of swag to make it work, that means a lot of times only you can do it then. That's the challenge as an actor. That's the challenge. So when you go in there, you say, I don't give a fuck what you're telling me. I can make anything work. You can say boogity boogity boo. And I can make that shit sound sexy as a fuck and make all the women swoon. What up? You know what I'm saying? And that's how you do. You say, yo, boogity, you know, boogity, you know, boom, you know, boogity, you know, boom, boom, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you say it. It's not what you say. That's an actor. That's a professional. So you actors out there, don't worry about the line so much. Worry about how you can make that line yours and nobody else can make that shit work. You can do that. That's how you become the Denzels. That's how you become the Peter O'Tooles. That's how you become those Pacinos. Because when you think about the lines that those guys have said, some of them have some really good lines. When you really look at it, you really listen to them, the lines not like, sometimes not that great. It's just how they said it. I'll tell you a movie that only one person could have done and it became a classic. It became like a big hit, and that was Ace Ventura. Because Jim Carrey was the only one to make that script work and sing. Otherwise, nobody can make that script work. It was a crazy script. It was just crazy. It was just kind of like, who the fuck is going to do this? And who's going to make this work? Some of the jokes are not even funny. One man in the world was able to do it. He knew it because he said, you know what? I'm going to make this shit work. That's what's going to make it mine. That's what's going to make people know my name. So know that when I come on your set, I read your script, I'm in front of the camera, you know whatever you got there, I'm going to make it work. And I'm the only one that can do it. That's what makes your stock go up. So that's how I look at it, even with my actors. You know what I mean? I write some stuff and I'm like, man, I don't know how it's going to work. When they say it, they make it work. That's the challenge. That's what makes you special. Now when shit's already like anyone can say it sounds good. I mean, what's the challenge in that? You know what I mean? I can read Shakespeare. You know what I mean? And they all sound good because he wrote. It's a freaking genius. You know what I mean? It's something that's that tight. Make it your own. Now you're saying something. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, listen. It's not the best movie in the world, but Scent of a Woman, hoo-ha! Who else can say that better than Pacino? You know what I'm saying? Like, who thought of that? Like, who the hoo-has? Who the hoo-has about? Yo, where you get the hoo-has? Only he can say that. Now, if you wrote that shit, like, yo, I want you to say hoo-ha. You know what I mean? And you're going to have all kinds of actors coming, hoo-ha. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hoo-ha, hoo-ha. You know, but then you get Pacino on there and say, yo, I know how to flip this. Put that little bass and voice and whatnot. Hoo-ha. He put all that into it, only he can do it. Then it makes sense. It's a line now. Movie wasn't the greatest one in the world. He shouldn't have got an Oscar for it. And he did. Whatever. Should have got an Oscar like 8 times before that, but that's another story. But that's what makes you a freaking star. That's what makes your stock go up. That's what makes you fucking special. Because they know when you come on the set, say, that motherfucker can make anything work. Damn, that motherfucker nice. That's what you want to be. Not when you say, you know that shit ain't too tight? That tight up a little more for me to work it. Like, really? Really? You can't see where this is going? You can't massage? You can't? No, it doesn't work for you? Then that means you know you're not that good. You're lazy. That's how I look at it. So at the same time, you as a performer, you do your best with it, what you got. Same thing with me. I don't have everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, oh man, you know what? Damn, you know what? I can't do it. I don't got this. It's a cop-out, man. You do the best you can. You know it's not going to come out exactly the way you want to. You're going to have holes like crazy, but I'll tell you one thing. You did something that a lot of people haven't done. You completed a task. So that's all you need. And that's something that people can't take away from you. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. So anyway, I just want to say thank you all again. Those that joined my page this week, I want to thank you all. Love you all. Thank you very much. Follow me, follow my production, all that good stuff. And I will be probably on tomorrow again, talking some stuff. If there's something you want to talk about, email me, text me. I'm also, hey, remember out there, tell people, anyone who lives in Florida, and you know, anywhere in Florida, we'll work it out, depending where it is. But in Southern Florida, pretty much. That I have my role, Kayla Covesian, is open. Still interviewing, going through people, still looking for the right one. Okay, you want to be a part of this, the next level. You want a role that's exciting, that's edgy, and it has a lot to explore in it. You know, you're not just a woman just kind of doing a role and just saying a few words and moving around and just talking. This is a lot of a mental gymnastics going on with this character that I have, and I want the right person, so I'm out there. So if you know anybody that may be interested in my movie, that likes what I'm doing, that really wants to be in. Oh man, come on. What the fuck? Man, I don't know. Maybe it's still recording, but now it says trying to reconnect. Really? Come on. All right. See you guys.